are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing great. To start,
Okay.
I've always wanted to ask a boxer this. How do you feel about boxing movies as a whole, especially now that your story is part of kind of like the echelon of boxing movies?
Well, before The Fire Inside came out, Million Dollar Baby was my favorite boxing movie. You know, I
Good.
I
That's a
I
good one.
I have watched that movie so many times. I've watched mostly all the fighting movies, to be honest with you, and I like the boxing movies, and it's not so much that I like the boxing skill in the boxing
Mm-hmm.
movies. I like the storytelling of the boxing in movies, and I feel like boxing is one of those stories where it don't always end well, but it's always like a feel good story somehow involving fighting.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
100% agree. That's why I love. Listen, I'm Italian. We love boxing movies. I don't know why. It's just like in my blood that we're like a boxing movie. But this one is so good because not only is your story inspiring, but it shows what you did to help other female athletes, especially on the Olympic teams, as well as, being the hero that you are to like people in Flint, Michigan and just like in general. But how does that all feel for you, like watching it? Like how do you kind of compartmentalize watching your story versus like how audiences are going to kind of see your journey?
When I watch the film, I just watch it for what it is. I know my life, and I just know that the more people that see what I went through, the more that they'll understand who I am today, and they'll understand where the attitude, where like the confidence, where the hard work, where the passion comes from for boxing. And I think when you have a movie like The Fire Inside, and you have great actors and actresses like Ryan Destiny and Brian Tyree, and how this just you get to see everything. This is where it started. This is where it ended. This is the middle part that's very shaky and up and down, and it's a very resilient story.
It is. And I also like one of my favorite parts is I would have been like, nah, she's right for it when it shows you saying like I like beating people up and then the fight to be like, well no, it's like I'm a boxer, like what do you want me to say?
Yeah,
That's why I'm boxing. And I really like that because it's like, well yeah, that's now in 2024, so many of us would be like this, yeah, I love her. She's very
yeah.
honest about the sport, but it wasn't that way. How what is it to like kind of go back in time and go back to 2012 and feel the difference between what sports are now versus what they were when you started?
Yes, I think I was born in a good time, and the timing is very great to be a woman athlete right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm happy that I was standing up for something way before it became the norm. Being a 17, 18-year-old girl telling them, "Hey, you guys want me to go back and to represent you in the Olympics?" Well, I will only do that if you pay me and all the other girls the same as you pay the men. If you're like, you have to
Mm-hmm.
be equal. Like, me having that conversation with them was one of the things where I was like, it wasn't just about me, it's about all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
then to win a gold medal, then to turn pro, and I continue to do the same thing there. And I was the first woman to make $1 million in boxing, and I'm happy that the movie shows that, because so many people tried to act like it didn't happen because it wasn't done by someone of a different color or stature. And it was like, no, an African American black woman was the first boxer to make $1 million, not anybody else.
Yeah. I cannot wait for everyone to get to see this movie. I think it is not only a great boxing movie, but it's just a really good and inspiring story on its own. And I'm so
Yes, it
glad
is. Yes, it is.
people are going to get to see this side of you. So thank you for talking with me. I really appreciate it.
Of course, you're welcome.